Right, people, how to draw an old school skull and dagger. So it's going to be an old classic skull with a dagger going straight through the head. So it's an old classic one, you've probably seen the tattoo like a million times, it's a really fun one. So as usual, this can be done on the iPad Pro in Procreate, but you can do it whatever you want, just paper, pens, markers, paints, whatever you want to use. And 4 layers, sketching, line work, shading, colour. So we start with sketching and work our way down. You can use sketching pencil, technical pencil, dark red. So here we go. So as usual, I'm going to start off with the circle. It's going to be like the main part of the skull. We're going to bring a line coming down from here, coming back, cutting up into the skull. Sketch a rough line about halfway through. Sketch a little line up here, right close to the side. A little curve just here. And you're going to have this line kind of coming through this way. So it's coming about halfway through this line here, because that's where the mouth's kind of going to be opening. So you want the tip of the blade coming out the mouth, and the other half coming out the back of the skull over there. So you've got a circle, and you've got that, so I'm going to increase this a bit so you can see everything nice and clearly. So you can start here. Now roughly where this line meets this line is where we want the nose. So I'm going to start off with the nose to begin with, because it's just a good point to start with. So we're going to go up, and we're going to go down, kind of a bit wider. And then we're going to create a little dip inwards and join there, like so. Kind of like an upside down heart shape. And then we're going to create this curve around here, and it's going to curve around that nose shape, so you kind of want to curve around it. I'm going to curve around, come in a little bit and come down. So you're making this kind of shape. Now the idea is this part of the skull is going to sort of curve in a little bit, so you don't want it to be too rounded. The other one's going to be roughly in this kind of position. So where we've done this curve here, you want to leave a little bit of a gap. That's where the eye is, and make sure there's a little bit of a gap here. And make sure this gap here is a little bit wider than the one on the other side. Because obviously you don't want it quite as close to that nose as the other side is. So I'm going to bring this little line here, come down across. I'm going to come out. And I'm not going to make this line very strong. I'm going to make it a bit kind of wavy. I want it a little bit uneven. It's going to add to that old school feel. So it's going to circle around kind of like so. Little curve on the inside part there, little curve on the inside part there. It's going to come down now. Now we'll sketch this line here. So sketch this line back like so. Now if you imagine come down with the eye, you want it basically at the end, roughly around here. So we're going to go circles, just repeating over until we get roughly around there. Now leave a little gap, like I said, just that other line there. So we're going to do circles on this part now. Going to around here. Going to curve line up here, coming out like so. And then next to this bottom part of the teeth, we're going to create this curve coming off the side, from the middle of the tooth, curving up and outwards. And I'm going to create another line coming down from there, curving underneath the teeth in that sort of shape. And then lastly, bring this one down. I'm going to curve around it, and I'm going to make this a bit kind of wavy, this line. I don't want this to be sort of like nice and straight. Again, it's just going to add to that feel of the old school. I'm going to like extend the chin out a little bit, so it's going to come back a bit further than what you kind of would expect. Again, just adding it to that old school feel. It's these kind of awkward angles. You've got to realise these, old school, these awkward angles, they're all on purpose. It's just to kind of give a certain kind of vibe to it. It's not just random lines. It looks simple, but sometimes it's just knowing that they're simple lines, but it's just knowing where to put them. So we're just reinforcing that kind of circular shape around the outside now. Come around here. I'm going to have a few little cracks just coming through the skull if you want. It has got a dagger that's going to be going for it, so it makes sense to have a couple of cracks. So I'm going to bring this line here. So we've got that centre line from that dagger, that line we drew. So I'm going to bring this down here, and I'm going to curve up from the edge, and try and curve roughly the same length as what we've done the other side there. So try and make these lines kind of parallel. I'm going to bring a little V shape, just there. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about it, I'm back now. So right, where was I? So yeah, we've got the dagger bit there done. So we're going to reinforce this line here. So this is basically going to be the centre part of this part of the dagger. And we're going to divide this up into sections here. So I'm going to have a line curve in here and a line curve in here. This is going to be at the base of the handle. Well, the hilt, I think it's called. And I'm going to have a circular piece here. So long oval, smaller circle just here for detailing, and then another circle just on top, like so. And underneath it, on the two sides of this, roughly about the same set apart, we're going to put a line down here. And imagine if this line was carrying through, where this line would end up. Same here. So follow this line through there. And since to the bottom, just bringing little lines from the side. So now we're done. Now I'm going to sort of detail a little bit. So I'm just going to turn the transparency down just a touch, so you can see it clearly. I'm going to come top so you can see the sketch detailing now. So I'm going to bring this curve around here. And when we get to the end, we're going to go like a ball shape. So I'm going to curve the other way. And very simply, I'm going to bring that back, following the shape. Similarly on the other side here now. So I'm going to bring this out. Curve out. Try to get as symmetric as you can. You know, don't worry if it's not 100% dead perfect, but do your best to try and get it as perfect as you can, really. I'm going to have a circular base just here. This is going to curve up, like so. This is going to curve up, like so. I'm going to come to a point just here. A little semicircle ring, just come this part. And this I'm going to curve up to a point, so I'm going to curve up both sides, come in like so. I'll put a couple of repeating lines on that. Now if you follow up from that line, I'm going to create this curve outwards to the centre line, and similar on the other side, I'm going to curve this outwards to the other side. Make sure they're the same height. I'm going to bring a secondary line just here, just there. I'm going to do the same going up, I think. There's loads of different ways you can pattern inside here. You could just do a straight going across one like this if you wanted to. You know, this is just like one variation of old school patterning, which I really quite like. A little circle inside. So that'll be the base of the handle. So you can see all the line detail we have there. So now I'm going to go into my line work, black, inking, studio pen. Get my liner nice and thick. Yeah. And I'm just going to go over everything we've just done now. And just put a few little detailing bits just here and there just to kind of correct how I want it to be. But I'll talk you through those as we do them. So just whipping everything we've just done. Now you don't need to go as quick as me here. I know I'm very quick with this part. You know, but you see me sketch it out, so you know, but take your time. You know, I've done thousands of pictures like this, so this is just second nature to me. But it's not a race, so it doesn't matter how quick you go. Take all day if you want. Pause, rewind, there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to start with circle just here, because that's kind of like the centre point, and all the other ones are going to sit around it. And I'm just going to curve my circles kind of into that. You see, as you get to the sides, they kind of curve behind it. So I always find I kind of want to sit in front, so I'll probably take this one here. Like so. What I'm going to do, where I've done that line in the centre, I'm not going to do it in that bottom triangle bit, but I'm going to do it just there. Okay. I might do a secondary line here, so I can do bottom part in red, that bit in gold. Now this curve line we've done through here, a little bit the same. I'm just going to make it a little bit wonky, so it's not perfectly symmetric. Sorry, not symmetric, curved. I'm using the same line thickness for this, you know, but you can use a thinner line detail if you want. I might do, as I do some of the inside detail, maybe. No, actually I'm going to keep it all the same. It's classic old school. Let's just keep it the same, I think. If I was doing Neotrad, I definitely would do it, but I don't really feel the need to with this. I'm liking how it's looking. Couple of cracks just here and there. Can be as many or as little as you want. I like to not put too many, but yeah, I got a few in there. Right, and that's basically it for the line work. So now I'm going to turn off the sketching layers. Make sure your line work is set to reference. So click on it and click reference. So now when we click on the shading layer, and I'm going to use my spray paint tool, so I like it, but you could use airbrushing, whichever kind of one you prefer for shading with. I only like the spray paint because it gives a nice texture for the old school. Now top left hand corner, select automatic. Now because it's set to reference, when I click it's going to draw the inside parts of where I click. So I'm going to start off with, actually, start with just the nose to begin with. So I'm going to shade a bit of black just from the top down. Inside the eyes, same again, from the top down a bit. And inside mouth, very similar, top down, just leaving a little space. Now underneath the jaw bit here, black from here. I'm going to shrink this, and where I've got the jaw, where I've got those little bumps, I'm going to have a little bit of shading just coming up in those bumpy areas. A little bit underneath the teeth, like so. And then I'm going to go selection tool, and I'm going to click freehand instead of automatic now. And that allows me to draw the area I want to shade into. So now I want to draw in this area here, because I just want a shadow coming off of that line on the inside, like so. And just a few other little areas just here, like here, I want to shade just behind this area. I don't want those lines to have to join up, but I want a shadow underneath it. Obviously if you're doing this on paper, you ain't got to worry about this, you can just draw in those areas. You know, it's much easier doing it that way. And again, just a couple of bits, so just here around the dagger. On this side. So I don't want to sort of shade over the dagger. I want the shadow just behind that part of the eye, just around it. And make sure you go heavy with black. You know, with old school, you want to go heavy with your black shading. You know, it's just not quite the same if it's not nice and heavy. So a bit of black just around the outside here. So I'm just going to come around a bit towards the top of the head, just there. And just a little bit just on the front. Nothing too crazy. Just to kind of like confirm the shape of it, really. A bit underneath the teeth. I'm going to have just a tiny bit just around the eyes. No, I like doing this. Just a hint. A bit there, and I'm just going to get my razor tool and I'm just going to rub out quickly a little bit at the top. And you can do have a little bit inside if you want. You could always do a little bit of shade just here, you know, but you don't do too much. You know, you could do a little bit coming up from the teeth if you wanted to. But again, it's really up to you. I quite like the look at it, so I might actually do that. I'm just going to flick up between the gap of the teeth just a tiny bit, like so. Yeah, that's cool. Now I'm going to select a few other little key areas. So I'm going to do this part inside here, so on black, come down from the top and the bottom. I'll black that inside bit there. Just where this blade is, just a tiny bit just on the top, just a tiny bit on the bottom. Now I'm going to select one side of the blade. I go this side. I was going to bring a bit of shadow just on the inside part there. And the outside bit, just a bit more obvious on the bottom, not so much on the top, because I don't want to go black to black. Because where the outside shading is very dark there, I don't want it to kind of feel like it's getting lost. So now we got that, we can go to the colour. I don't want no more than that, I don't think. So I'm going to select a few key areas here. Now the areas you can see that I've selected, the areas I want red. So I'm going to select this nice old school red. My colour palette that I use, you can get it on my Instagram, Facebook and other social media sites. It should be on there as well. So if you want to use the exact colours I use, you can get the exact colours I use just by copying it off there. I'm going to select these ones because I know I want these ones in golden. Colours I want these. I might go for a reddish brown for this bit. Yeah, I quite like that, and then maybe inside handle bits in the background. Yeah, and I'm just going to change that one bit. I'm just going to change that to yellow actually, just to break that up. I'm going to give him one gold tooth. So I like the gold teeth. And just one little bit I forgot, and that's just inside the skull, those little curves, just a bit of black coming down those. And there you have it. That is how to draw an old school skull and dagger. You know, it's a classic. You know, comment, like, subscribe, check out my videos. You know, and if you draw this, you know, always tag me in it, and I love seeing what you guys do with these things. So yeah, look forward to what you guys can do, and I'll see you next time. Peace.